Okay, welcome back. So after all of our action steps, that did trigger the end of the turn. And you probably noticed that I forgot something again for the second time in a row. I have a big stack of units that I was supposed to put on the beach. The Japanese fire card did not have artillery, so there was no harm in it. But we do have to get that accomplished every time. So just gotta get, and you're just reading the thing and it just says, you know, that says 03. Nothing new yet. This one's going into the meat zone. Oh, we got 4 of them now over here. 5 over here. Although that's an HQ unit, it doesn't count towards... so you have a stacking limit of 2. You can never have more than 2 stacked or the units get eliminated, but that's at the end of your turn. So you can have 6 of them in a stack if you want, but as long as you get them all moved out of the way before the end of your turn, nothing happens to you. But never more than 2 at the end of your turn. HQ units, the hero marker, there's garrisons that are coming out later in the game. Those will be better. And here's one, an HQ unit's going into the meat market, meat grinder. I don't know what to make of that meat grinder. It's awful. And the fact that an HQ units go in there really is troublesome. I think it's going to be a priority to clear and get these units moving this way to try to get them from behind. But with that being said, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I'm really struggling with that. So let's see how that plays out. But one thing that I want to point out is that the M is now available. So that means that the Japanese can do mortar actions, or muster is another one. So with just that, when we draw their fire card, if it has an M on it, there's now extra actions that they can do other than just fire towards us. Okay, so we need to land, and like I said, we go left to right. So we're going to start with these 2. We do have a full-blown tank here, not an amphibious tank, and we have an HQ unit, which is interesting. This is actually, it's an HQ infantry unit. So what it is it's an infantry unit that has HQ abilities. So if it is with another infantry unit, the entire stack is under its command, and it can get a free action, just like this guy gets a free action. So it's pretty interesting. It can attack. It has an attack strength, you can see, and it even has some weapons. It has mortar and flamethrower. So that's what that is, and that's also what this is. And this, and this. So yeah, none of these are a full-blown HQ. There are real like HQs that come out, but none of these are. Okay, so I feel better about it now. These are just infantry units that have leaders. Let's just say that they have lieutenants or something with them. And it's I think the rule book said it's to represent the fact that the Marines were getting better at doing this. And so they're more able to muster command in the middle of the battle. So anyways, we're starting with the left there, and it's a green diamond, drift left. Okay, so we apply the damage first. And here's the miracle. This is the Christmas miracle right here. It's New Year's, but there is no green here. So they survived. Now, the drift left means one of these units is going to go that way. And because I know it's a slaughter fest, I'm going to let the HQ get over here. And I'm going to land the HQ. See, this guy's disrupted. And I'm going to land the HQ there, so now we got a bonus. That's a 6 strength, or a 6 pip unit. And we can now put the hurt on. So I love that. That's a wonderful thing. And then, of course, the tank is going to land unharmed. We can't have more than 2 in a stack. So the tank for sure has to go there. I could put it here, but remember, stupid, sell the game, move somewhere else, get into the FBI Witness Protection Program, do not land there. Anyways, that's that one. And man, look at that event. That's another one of those nice events, getting another hero. Okay, now we do this side, and it is a blue circle. Now, blue is disrupted, so blue cannot hit. So we get lucky again, and there's no drift, and there's another hero marker. Maybe this game's a lot, or that maybe I'm just drawing a whole bunch of them. So no drift on this one, and looky here, I have another headquarters. So I do have to land here in the middle because I can't have stacking issues. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to land the headquarters on this one because now this one is going to get, he's going to command the whole stack to move for free. And then I'll put the tank with that one. And then this tank can help take out red if we get the opportunity to. Yeah, I like that. I was rethinking it, but I think I like that. So now we're on the orange one. And here you can see there's a drift right, and it's an orange circle. Now, orange is destroyed, see? So, cha-ching, cha-ching, we're not taking any damage. And I get to do a drift right here. So one of these two has to drift right. And how do we want to do this? We already have a hero unit. He gets to move for free. We already have an HQ landing. And this tank has to also land. I honestly don't know what the best thing to do is in this situation. This is if we land here, no one's taking any damage because orange is gone. If we land here, obviously green can hit him or red and green can hit there. So where do we want our HQ to go? I think what I want to do is drift him to the right and land him on this 7-2, this full strength infantry unit, because that's an awesome one to command. I'm pretty sure these HQ units count towards the stack. Normally HQ units don't. I have to look. These HQ units that are HQ/infantry, they're new to this game. So give me a second. And the reason I'm asking this is if they don't count towards the stack limit, then I'm going to add another unit to it, and then like a tank, and we can have quite the combined arms steamrolling across the map. Oh, let's try 15. HQ stacking. Regimental HQ units, heroes and garrisons do not count. HQ/infantry units do count. Okay, so they do count as a unit, and that's fine. This is basically, you can treat this like an infantry unit that has a hero on it, but instead it's this HQ unit. And these HQ infantry units, I'm pretty sure they only influence themselves. Yeah. And then a regimental command, which you haven't seen those yet. They control their space, and then every space around it gets a free move. So this tank needs to land. I would love for him to land there, but we already have a tank here. So I'm going to land here because this is the only place where he can't get hit. And that's more important. Let's get him a safe landing. So then let's move on to orange 2 here. And you can see no drift, and it's a red circle. The good news is there's no red here. So they're both landing. And so what I'm going to do, what I wanted to do, I still can do. I'm going to put this HQ with this heavy infantry here, and they're both going to land like that. So I have an HQ, and a hero all next to each other. So the three amigos are gonna steamroll. At least that's the plan. Watch how all the plan will fall apart. And then this is just a cluster mess here. This guy wasn't able to get off the beach because he got disrupted. And we have a purple circle, which is even worse because purple is here. You can see purple is one of the colors. And so anything with a circle gets hit, but I guess fortunately it's just one unit. But he took a hit, and there's no drift. So everybody's landing now, and we got to get them all there. So we got a 4-strength unit and a 2-strength tank together. We can put those two together and then put these two together, like so. Actually, that's a really nice combo. So we have a lot of strength on the beach. I think the thing that hurts is that the unrevealed Japanese units do disrupt us, and they're all unrevealed at this point. So hopefully we can get past that. I still think the meat grinder is going to be an issue. And we have a nice pew here, row of stuff. So Confucius says, man who fart in church, sit in his own pew. So there you go. There's another one for you. Okay, so we got to do an event now. We just did the amphibious landings, step 1. Now we're going to do the event phase. And so we're on turn 3. And it's the exact same event. There's a lot of these. But I'm not going to complain. Heroes are excellent. The depth marker is not so much. But the depth marker we'll do first. And I think it's going to go here because we agreed it was the lowest number. That's a B6. That's a B7. So red's going to get the depth marker. Another reason to take these guys out first. But we get a hero, and remember, the hero gives free actions. Action Jackson. So one thing I've done in the past is I've sometimes given them to tanks, because tanks they don't get preservation moves or anything like that, and a tank being able to move for free is pretty awesome. But if you can get these regimental HQs out, then the tanks can help you that way. So the other thing is that the infantry units are powerful. I would love to give it to him, but this is that whole watch in a toilet situation. Both of these are available to fire. Need to think about this. If there's an HQ, we're safe. This one is a great candidate, but it's a watch in a toilet situation. He's the first one to get hit if purple gets drawn. Purple will hit this one before any of the other ones because he's got the most steps. This one, also the first to get hit if brown gets drawn. We might actually put him on a tank just because the tank is going to have the largest success chance. This blue over here is disrupted, but we have 2 HQ units, so I don't have to worry about them. We already got some free actions there. If I put the hero here on this tank, I can then use that to help. Or I can put the hero in that infantry. I mean, it already took a damage, but if I have a hero here on this infantry, we can do some serious attack on this thing. He needs close combat, so hero will help with close combat as well. He doesn't help a lot, to be honest, but he can help a little. I'm really stumped. This is a very important decision, and I know it doesn't seem like it is, but it is. If we draw a brown, he's going to hit one guy, and he'll hit the guy with the 4 pips. So if I put a hero here, I know I'm going to be able to attack brown, and nothing will happen. If I put a hero... I can put a hero on that tank. See, it's just that if this guy hits him, he gets disrupted. it's not just that the hero takes damage, or the hero unit takes damage, but he gets disrupted on top of it. It's just brutal. You know what? I'm going to do this because then I'm now going to be able to attack Brown for free. And I think that's going to be a good exchange. Because if we do draw Brown, he will hit this guy, and he only does damage to 1 unit. Okay, so moving on, we now get to see which Japanese units fire. The gold units are still disrupted, by the way. Since the start of the game, I'm a little nervous, but let me get the camera here so we can reveal. And it is gold. So gold units are disrupted across the map, so we don't have to worry about them attacking, but I will start removing gold disruption. There's a lot of them. Did we ever draw a blue? Oh no, we didn't. So there's still a blue tank that's disrupted. But all the gold, and just to give you perspective, all those units were gold units that have troops on them. And they were disrupted. Now they're disrupted at the beginning of the game because that represents the aerial bombardment that happened. So there's no action for this one. Now the blue, though, does take an action, and that, by the way, answers my question. We get to remove the disruption from the blue tank. So all the tanks have had their disruption removed, even though they haven't acted. Blue goes. Now, here's some good news. This blue is disrupted, so nothing happens with that, and all of our troops survive it. However, over here, we have a problem. This blue does fire, and that is an area he can hit, and that's an area he can hit. So now we got to look at the circle. The circle is going to determine. The P we ignore. So this unit is a star, meaning he can't get hit by that kind of fire. That's a diamond, so he doesn't take a hit. And this guy is a triangle, so he doesn't take a hit. And this is a tank, and tank can't get hit unless there's an armor symbol. And remember, we're talking about these half circles. If this was a full blue circle, everybody gets hit. Or they have a potential to get hit. This guy would only hit one person. But what I'm ultimately saying is nobody gets hit at all. Because there was no circles in either of these situations, so nobody gets hit. And I know I'm explaining it, but you can always use, there's a chart on one of these. Oh, come on, right here. The Japanese fire chart. So these were unrevealed, see the steady fire? So it was fired by an unrevealed position. Any non-armored unit, so that means no tanks, with the target symbol, which was the circle, on the fire card loses a step and is disrupted. So that doesn't happen because we had no circle. So what I just did mentally for you was this chart that you can follow. So it's a really good chart, and it's pretty easy to memorize once you've done this once or twice. And then the dreaded brown comes up with the A action. We ignore the A part, so that means they're just going to fire. And that's bad because we have brown here with 2. And so he's going to hit these 2 here. So this one's going to get reduced to 1. And this one goes to the catastrophic loss, and it's L31. So I just got to go find L31. So you can see we're just getting clobbered in this corner over here. And there's not a lot we can do about it. And to make matters worse, they get disrupted again. So these guys are, they're not able to do anything about it at all other than just remove their disruption. And so, yes, they're taking a beating. So that was brown there, but that's not over. We have another brown over here. And just like I predicted, there's all these people in his fire zone, and he goes after this toughest one. So it'll be this one that gets hit. There was even brown over here, too, to get hit. So he had a lot of juicy choices, but he takes the highest step. And then after that, if they're all tied, he takes the closest one. And we knew that our hero wasn't going to get hit if that occurred. So that's why we did that. Okay, so that's their fire action. If they had artillery, by the way, it would be something that would appear down here. And we didn't get any artillery yet. In fact, I'm going to look at all of the cards we've drawn so far. Here we go. There's an artillery situation. And what this is saying, if there's 3 artillery units on the board, it'll do a hit to somebody. And here's another one that says if there's 5 on the board, it'll do. So we just haven't drawn one. You can go a whole game and only get 1 or 2 artillery. Or you can get 9 or 10. It's just how the cards go. A lot of the cards don't have artillery on them, so it is actually, the odds are in your favor that you're going to not get hit. One thing I forgot before we move into our action phase, just like I did every turn, since we were talking about artillery, we got to get these guys placed. So this is a new one. It says WH on it. Okay, so it's no longer W1 or W2. So what I can do is I can put it in white 1, or I can put it in white 2. And let me think about that. It's going in white 2. This is just too much. And then this is going into O3 and OR, which means any orange. So I'm going to think about that one. Same with that one. Same with that one. And here's another one that goes in O3. So we already have 2 of them landing in O3, and we got 3 of them that land in any orange. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to land all 3 of these in orange 1. Largely because I know orange 2 can land safely, but there's nobody to attack. So I'm going to land them in orange 1 and use them to help support going that way. That's the idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we get 2 actions, and we also have a lot of free actions, and we have heroes. So the heroes give free actions, the HQs give free actions, we have preservation moves, which are free actions, and of course removing our disruption token over here is a free action. So I think this time I'm going to go right to left. It is how I do most of my games, actually. I like going right to left for some reason. But in this case, I'm more nervous about, you know, what can I do here and here, because I want to take these out so these beaches are clear. And if I take these 2 units out, I am not confident that I want to charge into the jungle and take this other stuff out yet. I sort of want to just establish a beachhead and then focus on these guys. And then the primary objective of the game is to take B. And if you look, B goes all the way up here. So there is, you know, the airport is an important part of B. B also goes really deep in the jungle this way. The other objective is D. And these are all A. Oh, hold on. I'm guessing again. Our 2 objectives are, and I'm talking extended game here, A and B. So this is our objective. This here is one of our objectives. That's zone A. But if we take these 2 spots, this guy can get fire from that purple zone. This guy can. So whoever's controlling this spot does have to worry about fire. This one doesn't have to worry about fire from anybody. So it's a really great spot to take. Taking this blue spot before he gets this depth markers and reinforcements is also a good idea, but he has a really strong zone of fire, and the best way to approach him is from this side, and it's hard to approach him from this side because green is a problem. There's so many things about this game that you know, and of course the Japanese aren't stupid. They're not going to have their exposed weak side. I mean, they're going to have it covered by green here. So there's a lot of potential for lost units. Whoever takes this will probably be a guy who every time we draw purple has a chance of getting hit. Remember, the symbol has to match, so it's not a guaranteed chance, but you know, from turn after turn, he could get pounded. So anyways, I'm gonna hush up, and we're gonna start with this. Who can go for free? This guy cannot go for free. This one can. So I can move to here, but now I'm in the blue heavy fire zone. I don't want to do that. So I think what I want to do is spend one action there. And then the other thing I want to do is I'm scrolling left real quick. I'm basically going to run out of actions because I have this guy here I want to give an action to take out red or green. Obviously, I could try to take out both, but the problem is I don't have enough actions to do both. I only have 2. And I should have put an HQ or the hero on one of these, but I put the hero there so I could take out brown. Same outcome. So how badly should I take out purple is the question, and my answer is quite badly. So I will do this action. So I reveal, and he needs an MG gun. And we look, and he's a full-strength infantry. He has MG, so it's as good as dead. So we destroyed it, and we had double his strength. And he is not an elite unit, so he goes in the eliminated pile. All right, this is a free headquarters. I could do a preservation move, which is just 1 space, but he gets to move 3 spaces. So this is a jungle, though, and once he goes into the jungle, he has to stop. So we're going to move him there, and he's safe there. This guy cannot move unless I spend an action, and these 2 can do a preservation move, and so I just need to think about that. But this guy gets a free move, so we're going to attack this, and here you can see this is an elite unit that needs a bazooka and flanking. Flanking means if I'm attacking from here, I have to have another unit attacking from here or there, or any of these 3 spots, actually. As long as it's more than 1 space away. So I am not going to meet that. He's also a strength 4, and he's in a jungle. So the jungle doubles him to an 8. So this hero only has 5 strength. So we're screwed, basically. I can make it a 6 strength, but it doesn't matter. We're still screwed. So we don't meet the weapons, and our attack strength is less. And so not only are we disrupted, but he gains a depth marker. So this was just awful, awful. So my plan to put the hero there to take out brown was an awful plan. And so not only does that happen, but we get a disruption marker to boot. So now we got to do preservation move, and for sure this guy's going to move in like that. This guy can do a preservation move, but he has nowhere to go. So we're not going to do it. And we'll let this guy go this way so he can at least go around. And then this hero can try to help. But remember, these are intense fire zones. And if he moves here, he has to stop because brown is active. So if he moves here, he has to stop because purple is active. It's just a awful, awful situation. So what he's going to do is he's going to move 2 spaces to here, and then next turn he can do a 3 move and take the airport before they reinforce it. And that's a huge move because this airport, if you look, this red zone has a fire range really far. So if the Japanese ever get somebody there, we're screwed. So I think it's a good move to go in and take that. Now I got 2 more HQ units though. So like this one can move 3 spaces. Hold on. Where was he? He was here, right? This is a jungle. He has to stop if he goes into a jungle. So he has to stop there. He can't go any further. Same with this one. So if we go here, we have to stop. But this guy can move to there. And then this guy He gets a free action. I just don't know where he wants to go. This tank is stuck. We can't do anything with the tank unless we spend an action. I guess he's just going to go one space forward. But this beach is... nobody's landing on that beach anyways. But that's all he can do. I can't move this guy. So now we're to here, and this guy can take an action, but there's no one to help him. And I think what I'm going to do is take green first. Because green's by himself, whereas this one has a depth marker. And I know this guy can hit 2 units, and it's important. But what I'm concerned about is I only have 7 strength. And remember what happened to my hero? He got blasted. This jungle doubles this guy, whereas this does not double him. So we're gonna attack this one. So I get a 2, and it's demolition. He has demolition, trust me, and you can look it up on the chart. So we have it, and we're double his strength. This is actually sort of bad news, because now we got to reveal this, and that's a close combat. So that's 4 strength, and we only have 7. And so this is another situation where it's now a no, and we're not double his strength. We did reveal his depth marker, so no effect happens. So he's not disrupted, and we didn't accomplish anything. So now the $1 million question is, should I have done that instead? I don't know. Okay, so now we have... this guy's an HQ unit, and so we're going to attack this one close combat, because we have to. And the other option is I could have done close combat, and that's actually something to consider, but I didn't do it. This one gets a free move, and I think it's going to be dictated... well, actually, no. He can get off the beach. He can only move 1 space, though, because his intense fire is going to block him. All right, so this close combat is at the end of the round. See, I'm listening to my YouTubers who told me I did it all wrong. So technically speaking, these units are on that space. I don't like doing that because if they lose and somehow survive, they go back to the space they attacked from. It's not like you can use this as an opportunity to end up on the other side. These guys don't get to go because there's no actions, and that disrupted marker goes away. Okay, so with this being said, just remember, these guys are there. I'm at the end of my turn, so now I'm going to, resolve this attack. So what you do is, there's a close combat procedure. So we have to reveal any depth marker if he has one, and so we will. The depth marker is a naval artillery, which is also awful. So the fact that we're close combating this is good. Okay, so now we're going to draw cards for each side. So for the US, we get 1 for each step, but a maximum of 4. I'm listening. I've drawn way more than 4 in previous games. So we do get 4. Because we had 6 total pips. It's the number of pips you have, by the way. Then I get 1 if there's a flamethrower present, and there is, because this headquarter unit is, I know it's hard to see, but see that there, that FT, that's a flamethrower. So he has 1. So we get 1 more for that. 1 card if a US hero is present. The HQ is not considered a hero, so don't do that. And then 1 card if the Japanese is in counterattack stance. That's not happening yet, so don't worry about that. So we have 5 total cards. And so I will put those right there. Okay, and then the Japanese, they get a card for each unit and depth marker. So there's a unit and depth marker. So 2 cards for the Japanese. They get 1 if they're attacking. They're not. We're attacking them. They get 1 if their strength is greater than or equal to 4. Their strength is 4. So they get 1 more. And then they get one card for every CC requirement that's on them. They have one CC requirement that was on the original one there. So they get yet another card. And then they would get one if they were a tank, or if they're in jungle, coral, or mountain terrain, or it's a night turn, and they are in brush. So they don't get any of that. So that's their situation. Now, in the past, I always used a common discard pile. But now, close combat changed since Tarawa, and it's a little weird. I wonder why they changed it, but they did. So basically, the Japanese always go first. And in the past, if they had a disruption marker, they would lose their first turn. And then the disruption marker would go away. Now that disruption marker stays on them the entire combat. What changes is, if we hit them, we disrupt them. If we hit them again, we get to remove a depth marker. And if we hit them again, we get to basically kill them. Whereas in the past, we removed a depth marker the very first time we hit them. And the disruption marker just prevented them from taking their turn. Now they always take their turn, even if they're disrupted. In fact, you have to disrupt them in order to do any damage to them. So that's the one major change from Tarawa. The other one is that, well, for us, it doesn't change. We still, if we get disrupted, we still can't. You know, we have to remove our marker and we lose a turn, basically. I thought there was one other change. Oh, yeah, that was with the... if somehow the Japanese survive, they lose... when you do close combat, both sides get disrupted. In Tarawa, that was always the case. In this, the Japanese could be undisrupted if the very last card they played had their color, which is blue. So if their very last card that they played was blue, they won't be disrupted at the end of the round if they survive it. So that's another annoying rule, because I used to like to just have a big discard pile and just start throwing my cards in. Now I got to keep the Japanese discards separate. But anyways, they go first, and close combat's really simple. You just look at the color of the space that's being attacked. It's blue. And if they were attacking us here in our space, it's still blue. It's wherever the Japanese are located. So if they draw a blue, our world hurts. We hate life and we might as well quit. If they draw anything other than blue, then we cheer and we dance and we sing good songs and maybe say a few more Confucius jokes. So that's the situation that we're in. It's complete luck. And be prepared to grab your ankles many, many times. When you do this, even if you have overwhelming forces and odds, it's complete luck. So without further ado, let's just go. So they go first, and we got lucky. There is no blue here. That is song and dance, and maybe a Confucius. But this CC here is important. That stands for close combat, and this is an event that we have to resolve right now. Now that event is listed here. I know I have my cards covering it, but these are a list of all the events you can have. And the last one is a U.S. withdrawal. We have the opportunity as the U.S. to withdraw, and what that means is we don't want to participate in a close combat anymore. That's most likely going to happen when the Japanese attack us. So the way that works is if we chose to withdraw, the Japanese get to draw one more card, and we just apply a hit or not a hit, and then we get out of dodge. And what this is saying is if we were in the middle of withdrawing, we would take an extra hit, no matter what. No matter what this did, we would take a hit from that. But we're not withdrawing, so this doesn't affect us. So this was a very good card for us to have. Okay, so now we draw, and same deal. We need blue so we can sing and be happy. And if we don't get a blue, then we get to be sad, and we get to write vampire and werewolf movies. So here we go. We got a blue, so we hit. And this is, again, Bloody Nose Ridge. That's not us. So we hit them. That is good. We're singing and dancing. Okay, so first thing we do is, like it says, you implement the event if there was one. Then if it shows the color, we discard from the Japanese pile. So the Japanese lose their top card. So this card gets lost, which is sort of fine. I mean, this wouldn't have hit us anyway. So what we really want is when this says, well, this is a blue, then we get to snicker. So no snickering for us this time. Then we do, these three things. He's not disrupted, so the first thing we do is we disrupt him. So I'm going to put a disruption marker on him. And then it says, if it shows neither an event or a matching color, nothing happens. And we just keep repeating until someone's eliminated. So the same goes, our choice to withdraw, by the way, is made after they do their first attack. And of course, if they hit us, it's bad. So we did hit them. We made them lose a card, but they still have 2 cards left. And so they get to go. And if this is a blue, it sucks because we would have wished that this one was that one then. But let's go. Let's see if we can still keep singing. And sure enough, there's a blue. Okay, so we're taking a hit. And when we do that, we lose the top card, which was also a blue. So that means they hurt us doubly bad. Okay, so now the hit, we have to choose one of our units. Either the HQ takes a hit and we flip this over, or the unit takes a hit. And so I'm going to hit the unit. And then we keep going. We still have cards left. They made us discard a card that had a blue on it. So that's gnashing of teeth type stuff. So now let's hope this one has a blue. It does not. But it says US fire on counterattack. So now we got to read what that means. It applies only if the Japanese are in counterattack stance. If drawn from the Japanese pile, treat as a no-hit. If US pile, treat it as a hit regardless of color. They're not in a counterattack stance, so nothing happens. So now it's their last card, and nothing happens. There's no blue. Now we're on our last 2 cards, and we just get to keep playing all of our cards. So if they're out of cards, we get to keep going, and we got a blue, which is good. So the second blue hit destroys this this depth marker, and the depth markers, by the way, are out of the game forever. So you can put that somewhere, hang it on your fridge, mount a trophy, put it next to your first dollar you ever earned. That is the first depth marker we ever earned in Dday peleliu. Yes. And it was a naval artillery one. I mean, that's a beautiful one. Okay, we have one more card. If we get one more blue, we eliminate this sucker. If we don't get a blue, then everybody goes back to being disrupted. And this, I already broke my rule. Which was their last card? It was this one. Their last card did not have a blue, so they would get disrupted. So let's reveal, and look at that sauce. It's a blue. Wow, look at that. Those are blank. That's rare. I hardly ever see that. But we got a blue, and that, my friends, was actually quite lucky. These close combats don't go this well. All right, so we destroyed an elite unit. See how it has a solid red? And he definitely has a communication path out. So he does live to see another day. So he goes into the reserve pile. And our units, I am listening to my YouTubers. I've made a mistake every time I win close combat. I call it a day. Our units actually get a move into the location. And this guy would have had an opportunity for a preservation move, actually. I don't know if I should do it. No, I won't. I'm going to just leave him there. Excuse me. So we took it. Blue is out. I think I'm happy with that. Not happy with some of the other outcomes, but that one was good. So that ends turn 3. 45 minutes. It goes a lot faster when you're not explaining what you're doing. So we're going to move to turn 4. Okay, so turn 4, we have to do some landings here, and we're going to start with this guy. And the first card is a orange, which we know is not going to be a hit and no drift. And why do we know that? Because orange is gone, and this one doesn't have orange anyways. So we can only land where the arrows are, and this one's full, so we'll land him here, like that. Next guy is an orange again, and we like orange again. I can't wait to be on the orange again. We like landing right next to our friends when we're on the orange again. Okay, so that was that singing and dancing from the close combat victory. Didn't know that Kenny Rogers was that old. He was in Peleliu back in 1944. Okay, so last one here is a landing, is a brown triangle. And unfortunately, brown is active because that one was a stinker right there. So our triangle takes a hit, and that hurts because I was hoping for this HQ to be on that, and it probably will still be on that. Yeah, he's still a pretty good unit. And so I will land him here so we can avoid the brown. Actually, we don't have to worry about brown hitting us there. So we'll go there. Okay, that ends that. Now we do an event phase, or event. And it says, minefield disrupts 1 infantry unit. Okay, so when you don't know what an event does, in the back of the rule book is an event chart. And I know what it does, but I don't know who's going to get it. So, right here. Place a disruption marker on the undisrupted US unit with the most steps. If more than one, select the one with the target symbol in the event card, then the furthest from a US beach landing hex. All right, so it's a diamond. So somebody with the most steps and a diamond is getting disrupted. And then whoever's furthest away from the beach. This is a pain in the ass one, but I think it's going to be this guy. He's got a lot of steps. He's far away from the beach, and so he takes the disruption. I'm totally okay with that because he can't get hit. All right, so now the Japanese get to fire, and this could be a problem. First things first. See, why couldn't we gotten this one? Look, another hero. Red is firing. Red, if you recall, survived that last ordeal, and so they are going to damage 2 of us, and that hurts. So intense fire all around here, and the units with the most health take the hit. So, and then if there's a tie, it's the units that are closest. So this is a full strength unit. He takes a hit. This is a full strength unit, takes a hit. Now green is attacking, and he can hit tanks. Green can only hit 1 unit, and there's just a smorgasbord of choices, and he's going to choose the closest one. So this guy takes a hit. So these HQ units are suffering, and but that's what happens. And then brown is going. So brown is going to slaughterfest these 2 again. Oh, and then green is not revealed yet, so that guy takes a disruption. This guy takes a hit, and this one is eliminated. And he's disrupted. So brown is just laying down the hurt. And remember, these green bands, when they're eliminated, you put them in the eliminated box. So we have 3 eliminated, 3 catastrophic losses already. And then brown is not done. Now we have this nonsense. So he's going to hit 2 units, 2 utes, and they're all tied. So then it's whoever's closest, and then it's my choice. So I can pick 2 units to take a hit, and I'm going to choose these 2 because they're not going to get a free action anyways. So C and L, that's 2 more catastrophic losses. C7 and L7. We're not necessarily doing very well here. All because of that stupid brown. And what makes it even worse is he needs a flank to get killed, and we were going to come around to flank him, and now I can't because I'm disrupted. So, anyways, that was hurtful. Why did it have to be so mean? Okay, event does not occur until turn 5. We're on turn 4. One thing I forgot to do again is we have units landing. So let's take care of that. All right, so these guys are, this is anywhere on orange, anywhere on white, white. All right, this is a full-blown regimental HQ, white, orange, another regimental HQ, an orange, orange, ooh, and a third regimental HQ, an orange. Okay, so let's start with white. The regimental HQ, we for sure want to land on white 2. This heavy infantry we'll put in white 2. In fact, I don't want anybody in white 1, so white 1 is just death. So we're going to do that. Now for orange, I do want 1 regimental here and then 1 regimental all the way over here so we can get them spread out. And it's also very cool that all 3 regimentals are coming now. So for most of the game, we're going to get to use them. I always like that. My favorite part of these is the engineering and HQ phases. Although they made the engineers a little weaker this time. Okay, this is an actual infantry HQ unit. And so I have some really powerful 7s here, so I'm going to put him there to help with that. And then as far as the 2 engineers, I think I'm going to land them here and it's either here, here, or there. I mean, it's only 3 choices. I'm going to land them both with him, like that. There's no advantage. I mean, the advantage of landing here is you're not going to take any damage, but then you have to move to get anywhere good. So, you know, it's one or the other. Okay, so now it's our turn, and you can see we got ourselves a problem because we're disrupted. I can't attack here with him, which is what I wanted to do. On my optional attrition, or optional damage, I damaged both of these guys, but I think that is where my action is going to be. I'm going to give them an action. I know these guys get a free move, but I have nowhere to move to. This guy has a range 2, but he's not going to do any good. I could, with this free move, go here, which I will, just to make room on the beach for other people to land. But we need to take Brown. Browntown needs to go down. That is a fact jack. Now this guy, I want to get up to do my strategy of taking red. And then this guy is going to move up just because I don't want them reacquiring yellow. The thing with this game, if you've never played these before, is if you leave these spaces empty, the Japanese just appear like whack-a-mole. And so you have to keep them guarded so they can't take the spaces. Now this green has been an annoying pain in our butt, and the unit most equipped to handle it got disrupted because he got hit. So we have choices, but we have to give out actions to do it. And then this one here is a close combat requirement, and we can attack it with our HQ here. So we do have a choice there, a free action choice. And then for the first time ever, we can start trying to tackle these. If I do movement, I can move 1, 2, 3 because there's no intense fire zones until I get to here. But then this gold can hit me with his fire. And I keep forgetting to check for my tanks. So my apologies. Like this last turn, red went, and then green, and then brown. Red was a tank. So let me do that real quick. Red is a tank that's like way outside of our range. So there's no units in field of fire, and it's red, but it's an R. See that R? It's not active yet. That doesn't happen until next turn. So the tank would do a resupply, but there is no, oh, I'm sorry, that's Bloody Ridge. Armor, here we go, armor unit. So he would do an overrun, but this is not active yet. See, and they even tell you what turn, so that's awesome. I love that. So instead what we're gonna do is just a color. And so he's gonna do a fire or advance, and there was no one for him to fire on, so he's going to advance. So we have to look up the advance rule, but basically it's, he gets to advance 3 spaces forward and to another position. And thank you to a YouTuber, I learned that 3 spaces forward is a swap. So he's tired of his wife and he wants to swap. So so you move the tank and depth marker to a position hex that's unoccupied or occupied by a non-armor and no more than 3 hexes away and closer to a US unit. So and if there's 2 or more, you move to an unoccupied position, and then the position closest to tank's current position, then to the highest number. I mean, there's like tiebreakers and stuff, but he's just trying to get next to a US unit. So 1, 2, 3, it's as simple as that. And so what he does is he shows up in the green, and now he's there. Now, the colors that are on the tanks, you ignore for the most part. There's times when you do pay attention to them, but right now, this tank is a purple tank, even though it's red up here. This one, it's ironic, but he's green because of this, not because of that. And he was a red this last turn. And that's why I activated him, because he was red. So green and purple weren't a tank. So my apologies. I think that one other tank would have gotten a move, and I forgot to do it. So I think it would have been the purple one, to be quite honest. I think purple went before. But I don't think yellow has. Yellow's only gone once. So anyways, enough of that. What are our actions going to be? I have one there, and then my other one, I think, has to be to take out green here. So we're going to take out green, and I'll do it with this guy, for lack of a better one to do it with. I don't have anybody whose free actions can help. So that hurts, but we're going to try it. And this guy here is a free action. He's going to take him out. And that's right. We were trying to figure out what to do with him. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to charge up and see if we can take out purple. This one is going to do a self-preservation. That guy's going to do a preservation. The tank can't move. And so I'm just looking around to see if there's any preservation. This guy can't do a preservation because you're not allowed to do an infiltration move where you're moving next to a spot that is already in your fire. This guy can move, but that would be a concentrated unit. But you know what? It's already a concentrated unit space, so screw him. We're going to move. This guy is... You know what we could do is we could do close combat and say screw him. Instead of trying to do a regular attack, we could do close combat. I'm going to do that. We're going to do close combat, and then he's going to move up. And then this one's going to move up, creating a concentrated unit. This guy can move. But see, these guys are going to do a close combat on him. And so this guy will move into his old spot. And the tanks, of course, can't move. All right, so I hope that made sense. I'm going to do close combats with everybody. I'm not taking any chances that I don't have enough strength because this one would get doubled because it's a jungle. So we're going to close combat him, and that gets rid of his double strength bonus. And then everybody else just gets their disruption marker removed. So we're doing that for everybody else. And then off we go. Let's do some carnage. Okay, so let's start here with this guy. And you can see we have 4 pips. So we're going to get 4 cards. So 4 cards for us. No bonus cards. We don't have a flamethrower. We don't have any US heroes. I'm making sure on the flamethrower thing. And the card and the Japanese aren't in counterattack. So I'm going to reveal their depth marker, and their depth marker was close combat. So we had to close combat this guy no matter what. So so he's going to get 2 cards for that. So let me put the American cards over here. He's getting 2 cards no matter what. And then he's getting 1 because he has more than 4 strength. He's getting 1 because he has a CC marker. And it's a jungle, so he gets 1 more. So this is not good for us. Okay, and so this is brown. We need to get browns, and of course the Japanese go first. So let's see what they get. And of course they get a brown. So we lose our first card, which was not a brown, so that's okay. And one of our units takes a hit. So I'm just gonna hit the top one. Okay, then we go, and we have a brown. So that's good. So they get disrupted. That's the first thing that happens. And they lose their top card, which did not have a brown. So we're sort of exchanging blows here, and now they go, and of course they have a brown. So I'm gonna take another hit. And we're gonna go, oh, we lose our top card. It's not, oh, see that? That would have not worked, so never mind. Okay, and then we go. This is our last card, and we don't hit him. So we're gonna get Jack Dday. And then he goes with a brown, and so we lose a catastrophic loss, a unit. And then he goes again with another brown. So we lost, all of our units are completely destroyed from that close combat. So that was pathetically awful. And the only thing we did to him was we disrupted him. So he's at full strength, living to fight another day. But he's at least disrupted, so no, he's not disrupted because his last card had a brown on it. So guess what? We didn't do SHIT to him. So not only does he not get disrupted, but now he can open fire on us next round. Okay, so now we're doing this one, and it's a similar deal. We have 3 pips, so we're going to draw 3 cards. And this time it's green. So we're drawing 3. We don't have a flamethrower. And then we're going to reveal him. And he was, by the way, a close combat. So he gets 2 cards, 1 for being him and then 1 for the CC. All right, so green is the color. Kermit would be happy. All right, so nothing happens. That's the event, but he doesn't have a green. So we go, and nothing happens for us. So now he goes, and of course he has a green, and he makes us lose a card, which was a green. So our luck is just getting worse and worse, and we have another catastrophic loss. Okay, next turn, we have a catastrophic loss limit of 10. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we lose 2 more units, we actually lose the game next turn. All right, so now it's us, and this is it. If we hit them, we win. And see that CC reinforce? That's awful. Add a card to the Japanese card pile, and if the participating Japanese unit has no depth marker, place a marker. If from the US pile and the card has a hit, treat as a no event and no hit. So not only did we not hit, so he gets a depth marker. So now he's even stronger than he was. He also gets another card, which we're now going to reveal, and it's green, of course. So we take another hit. So we're down to 1. So that combat failed. How many can we fail? Let's count the ways. And now there's this one who we're attacking from here. So we're going to get 4 pips. 1, 2, 3, 4 for us. And then we do have flamethrower, so we're going to get 1 more. And there's no heroes involved. So that's it. So they're going to get 2 because they have a depth marker. And then they're going to get 1 more because they have a strength of 4. And they're going to get 1 more because they have a CC marker. This one's red. They go first. They do not draw a red. There is no counterattack, so nothing happens. We draw, and they get a reinforce event, which gives them another card. So that gets added to their pile. They already have a depth marker, but they still get a card. And again, we don't hit them. Because, God forbid, we actually hit something in this game. And they go, and of course it's a red. Yeah, that's the way we roll. We have yet another catastrophic loss. We're up to 9. A1, 5. I did this once and somebody wrote on YouTube, will you stop doing close combats? Okay. Every one of these guys we've attacked so far has had a close combat requirement. So, no, is my answer. I will not stop. And we lose a card. And by the way, we lost a card with a red on it. So now it's our turn. Finally, we got a red. So all that happens to him is he gets disrupted. I don't like the fact that they changed the rules. I liked it better when we used to hit them. So disrupting him sucks. And then he goes and he gets a red and a reinforce. So he gets another card. And he hits us. We lose a card. The card we lost has a red. We take another hit. We're down to 1 pip. This is becoming the worst round ever. And then we go and there's no red. So he's played a perfect game so far. He goes and he has red. So he just eliminated our unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then he goes again. And he goes again. And he hits us. So the HQ unit now takes a damage. And he gets another card. And he hits us again and destroys the HQ unit. And the HQ unit does not count towards catastrophic loss. So his luck has been insane. Okay, so with that being said, we move to turn 5. And the condition here on turn 5, if you see right there at the bottom below the R, it says CL10. That is catastrophic loss of 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my first game of Dday peleliu was a loss. We lost because of catastrophic failure. So I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I promise you, yes, I will start again, and but it won't be tonight. And I don't know what to say. I mean, I think I like this more than Tarawa. But I hate close combat. I just do. I hate close combat. And I understand that the Japanese did close combat a lot in its thematic. I just hate the mechanic of close combat. I mean, it's complete luck. I mean, I just need to pull a horseshoe out of my butt kind of luck. And the fact that that last battle where the Japanese guy, he hit us twice, and the cards we discarded both had red on them. And then the 2 times we did get to play, there was no red on them. So that means that he had a perfect match where he eliminated the 2 out of 4 cards of ours that had a red on it. And then he had this reinforce event, right? So you got this reinforce event that was red, and then he draws another red. And that is just ridiculous luck. And could I have assigned my hits differently? Yes, you're right. I could have maybe assigned my hits differently and only had 8 catastrophic losses instead of 10. But what difference does it make? That was just a grab the ankles kind of round. So there you have it. It's hard. There's no doubt about that. This area is just brutal. But I think what was brutal is the close combats. I mean, 1, 2, 3 of them. Let's just take a look. That one requires artillery. And that takes a Browning and a radio. There's a close combat and another close combat. This one was a tactical reinforcement, which means somebody would have appeared here. And that one required flamethrower and demolitions. So that would have been no easy battle. And I know that close combat isn't something you should win every time. I just feel like the U.S. should get some kind of bonus other than just having an extra card. If you have a hero present or a flamethrower, a freaking flamethrower should just annihilate the crap out of them. I don't care. I mean, that's what close combat's. I mean, flamethrowers, you bring a flamethrower to a close combat war, there's not going to be anything other than fried Japanese people. So anyways, there it is. I'm just griping because I lost. If I would have won, I would have told you how great this game is. So stay awesome, folks. Thank you for joining me at the table. And, you know, Tarawa went so well. The events, everything went my way. And I won my very first time. I think, you know, some people pointed out some rules I got wrong, but they were, in my opinion, minor. This one was karma. Karma finally caught up to me. So anyways, thank you. And yeah, I'm going to definitely get this out again. I have a full work day tomorrow, and then I'm playing Folklore of the Affliction campaign with some friends. So chances are I will not get far tomorrow. But I hope you at least enjoy these few turns. We made it 5 whole turns. We lost the first possible opportunity we could lose. I think that's a good start. So let's hit this again. Honestly, I don't know what I could have done differently. I think we've learned that's a meat grinder, period. We're gonna just take our losses there. I remember when I was originally thinking I was gonna get to attack and do all this elegant stuff. Forget about it. This side is the easier side to take, and the middle was. And I think that's what I just gotta capitalize on. And then those disrupted markers, right? You know, we start the game with a random amount of disruption markers. And I think that's really gonna help dictate how we slice and dice this island. The lanes don't change for most of the units until turn 4 or 5. And then you at least get some flexibility. But what changes is which of these guys are disrupted at the start. So some lanes are going to be easier than others, and that changes every game. So I sort of like that. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and stay awesome.